So, this has been recorded directly after the previous podcast, which was about the Avengers Age of Ultron. Puppets on strings. This has been recorded on Friday, the day of the general election announcements and who won. Does that make any sense grammatically as a fucking sentence?
Makes enough sense.
Conservatives are back in power. Let's cut to the chase. Phil, your thoughts?
Well, I didn't vote right.
You're a fucking... This guy. He's a little anarchist.
No, it is. I didn't vote. Do you know why? Had nothing to do with protests or anything. I literally couldn't be arsed. And this is the thing. I thought in my head, right? Because in my world, like, my reality is... Like, this is the reality for me. If I were to vote, it wouldn't make a difference. And it wouldn't, right? It physically wouldn't make a difference.
How
me personally voting. Because how would it? Like, do you know what I mean? Everybody else is going to vote anyway. Another argument is, well, if everyone thought like that, then blah blah blah. But I don't live the life of everyone. I just live the life of me. And if I don't vote, it's not going to make a difference at all. Which is weird because it is a valid point. If everybody thought like that,
nothing would get done.
Then nothing would happen.
I think a lot of the, I'm going to cut you off, but I think a lot of the anger that you get pointed your way for saying that by voters and people who are heavily into the political system, which I'm not. I did vote, but I'm not massively interested, to be honest, because it doesn't matter. We're always going to be ruled by people who lie to us. So people will say it's a wasted vote. People are going to say, well, you know, people died for you to get that vote, and you're wasting it.
Yeah.
Why are you wasting it? You're abusing the situation. But it doesn't matter. I'm going to quote David Icke here. It doesn't matter who gets in... wow, this podcast feels a lot more serious than the last one. Shit. It doesn't matter who gets in power because they're all stood on the same postage stamp and they're all going to implement the same rules of the same sort of overruling regime.
Yeah.
Regardless of what perks one politician has, one political party has, to the other. Well, we do this and they do that. Yeah, but we do this and you do that.
Yeah, like the fundamentals stay the same.
Yeah, the basics are right there.
They represent like bankers and stuff.
You got money,
they
you're good to go.
Money. That's you know. That's what you got to take into account. It's like
completely.
When people say, "Oh yeah, people died for this, for your right to vote," that's nice. And did they really? Is that really how it panned out? I don't know enough about history as to how democracy came about in Britain, but.
Women died for the vote, didn't they? Suffragettes.
Did they die though? I don't know if they died. Probably got jailed and smacked in the gob and that by the coppers and stuff. I'm not sure if they got slaughtered or anything. I doubt they were killed. Could easily check that, but
I'll check it out. You keep saying your point.
But when it comes to democracy, like, people talk about democracy, and as an extension of that, like capitalism is like, this is the way to, like, this is the perfect system. It's like, wake the fuck up. We don't live in a utopian society. I'm not saying like anybody currently living has the keys that would unlock a utopian society. Like, that idea is just a fundamental idea. Like, I'm not sure if we're at like a state of consciousness yet where we would even figure out how to have it, or what a utopia would even be. But just the way people talk about democracy and capitalism as if, well, that's how it should be. It's like, yeah, that's how people think in fucking North Korea about their regimes. Do you know what I mean? Like, they think that having a crazy dictator, I mean, they probably don't really deep down, but the people that fucking dude sure as hell does. The guy that's running shit. You know, everybody thinks their system is the system to like fight for, and I just think, no. I just happen to have been born at this point in history, and I just observe it. Me,
you're an observer.
I'm not so much of a.
Women did die for the vote.
Did they?
Yeah. Suffragettes.
How the fuck did they die?
I assume it was. I didn't go into details, but I've just read an article there briefly. It says that women did die for the vote
in Britain.
There was a woman I know that killed herself. I can't remember her name, but she's buried in Morpeth.
Killed herself.
She walked out in front of a racehorse. Do you not remember this?
It was a protest.
Yeah.
Idiot.
That's what I said to my girlfriend last week. It's all fair enough, you know. You're doing things because you believe in them, but to walk out in front of a racehorse and kill yourself, I know you're trying to get your point across, and it probably worked, but come on.
Yeah, there's a good chance this is the only life we get, and are you sure you really want to end it like that? Just so, like, You can speed up
Yeah.
the historical process a bit.
Right, I'm going to do this. Walk out in front of the galloping hooves. Here come the horses.
I mean,
Whoosh.
in reality, thank fuck people do this kind of shit where they take a stand and they do change. But
Yeah.
that's what it results in. It implements change, like massive change. It's, in this case, in the political system and stuff. But as an individual, I always think, right, as an individual, I don't want to be the one that like
Yeah.
sacrifices my life, like as a martyr
Yeah.
for people that won't give a fuck about us a few years down the line.
I mean, I'm a massive advocate against wildlife crime and cruelty to animals, but I'm not going to walk in front of a firing squad to save a bird. You know, as much as I'd fight for it, I wouldn't kill myself for it. There's other ways around it, you know. I mean, it proves a point, but I suppose back then times were completely different. Women didn't have anywhere near the amount of rights that they have now by a long shot. And I suppose back then it did change the course of the future, but it's
a weird one, isn't it?
Yeah. You don't want to seem like you're being feminist about it, because, you know, feminists always jump on board, and same with the sexists.
It's all about what kind of person do you want to be? Do you want to be the kind of person that like leaves a legacy behind, like, or has this legacy, or affects the way things are in the future after you're gone? Do you want to be that kind of person? You're gonna have to take a risk, you know. You're gonna have to stand out, type of thing. Or do you want to just enjoy your life as an individual and, you know, let them fucking crazy bastards get on with it, and yeah, just see how they, like, because I almost feel like there are different species to me. Like people in politics that talk very, very differently to me.
Yeah, we covered that a couple of podcasts back about not talking like human beings, talking like robots with a programmed script. But are you surprised the Conservatives got back in power with a majority?
I am.
You are surprised,
because I thought people would just go, oh well, they've totally hammered the nation here with cuts and stuff. Let's get the guys in that are pledging to spend loads of money. But it seems like people are aware of the fact that Labour would just borrow the shit out of tons of money to invest in the short term and then completely jack the place up for like the mid to long term again.
I think it's also a lack of faith in the leader of the Labour Party, Ed Miliband. He hasn't exactly got a huge persona, and he's not exactly for instance, he's no Obama. He's not a charismatic leader who seems like, oh yeah, I can follow this guy. I'm quite happy to have this guy lead the country. He's not really like that. And to be honest, 99.9% of British politicians are all like that. They all seem wet as a day in November. You know, so it's like, oh, well, her, him. Oh, don't I'll go this guy.
Yeah, like
eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a politician by the toe. If he squeals, let him go. Fuck him. Yeah, it's.
The funny thing is, right, when you look at the map of, you know, when they've got all the different constituencies coloured, like you know, with red or blue or whatever.
Yeah,
I've seen that like on the.
Oh yeah.
In the north, it's like pretty much red. In the south,
yes,
you can
see massive divide.
And I was like, that's totally interesting, and totally corresponds with Game of Thrones, because I was like, so the Conservatives are the Lannisters here, and like in Labour are like the Starks. And I was like, that's pretty class. And the SNP, they're the friggin' wildlings or whatever from beyond
the white.
the wall.
What do you call them? The White Wanderers or something?
Yeah, White Walkers or something.
White Walkers.
Yeah.
SNP. I tell you what, the SNP have did a cracking job. They've basically kicked every other party out of Scotland.
Just
it's just SNP overload. Watch out for the TIE fighters and the Star Destroyers. Here they come.
You know the leader, Nicola Sturgeon.
Can I trust her?
I've spent weeks slagging her off, right? So, you know how she moves like that, just talks in a weird way. It looks like an idiot, right?
She's got the 1980s haircut going.
She looks terrible. Like, it just sounds. It was totally great on us for weeks. Last night and this morning, I was looking at her and I was like, I want to hate fuck you. It's turned from pure hatred to weird, odd sexual desire for her. No lie.
I didn't think it was a lie.
It's just hideous.
It's a confession.
But that's how I feel.
Wow.
I was like,
you see, it's funny because I'm the same with Ed Miliband.
Oh yeah,
exactly the same. let's just see what the next few years have in store for us in this country. Yeah,
That'll probably be really crap. But
I mean,
in the long term,
you've got to let them adjust it.
I trust them more as like accountants and bookkeepers than I trust friggin' Labour or any other party. Because
Labour's heart might be in the right place, but they might be a bit naive to actual problems in the world.
Well, we got a problem. We haven't got the money.
Yeah.
But it's okay because we can just get the money from somewhere.
Ed Miliband.
Can you?
Come on, David Cameron's party.
Does that work forever? Are you sure you can just always get into more and more debt? Like what when these guys want their money back? What you gonna do, man? Sell off the whole fucking... That's where conspiracy comes into play, because that kind of party would just run this country into the ground.
I'm glad you mentioned conspiracy, because I was thinking about conspiracy yesterday, just the term and the idea behind it in general. Conspiracy theories that I've believed in, conspiracies that I've heard about, just conspiracies overall. And I think I'm like you, I'm going the way of slowly starting to think that a lot less conspiracy events and conspiracy occurrences are probably not conspiracies. I'm starting to sort of drift away from it, and I'm starting to think, it's probably a much simpler explanation than lizards trying to control the world or something like that. Not falling for it.
Say like 5-6 years ago, you'd probably approach a general election in the mindset of,
dude,
they totally rigged the
fucking
votes.
aliens, man.
They rig all the votes. And now you're like, can you
probably
rig
just
the votes?
It's probably just human error.
Have you seen it when these people that are working at the polling stations, something that was totally pissing me off and making us cringe. I was like, cringe.
Yeah, come on.
Was when they were running with, you know, when they've got the boxes of votes.
Yeah.
And they're fucking legging it back and forth.
Yeah.
It's always like the geekiest looking arseholes.
Come on.
I'm like, look at the way that guy runs. I hate to say bad form.
His motion is awful. It's so off.
Stuff like that. I always think, how on earth are you up for that? Do you have no shame, boy?
Yeah.
Pegging it back and forth. Like a dork with a friggin' 1980s haircut. Like round glasses on, just...
Here we go. Quickly, give me that. I'll take 1, 2, 3. Yay.
I bet he sounds like him off The Simpsons. Oh!
Which one?
The spotty one.
Oh, yeah.
My girlfriend should kill me, that one. I've got your votes, sir. Not that they speak like that. I've got your votes, sir. I've got your votes. They're all counted and verified. I've got your votes.
I've double-checked them.
Treble-checked them.
You can check them yourself just to make sure, but I've checked them thoroughly.
I've checked them loads of times. You haven't got to check them, but I've checked them for you, though. But I've checked them, but you don't have to check them.
Oh, that box? No, I haven't checked them.
I've checked them, though, but you don't have to check them because I've checked them.
My mum was getting so caught up in it all. She was nearly tearing her hair out. Oh, God. What if Labour gets into power with the SNP? Oh, shit. What's going to happen then? What's going to happen to the country?
Do you know how I think about things?
Get your lightsabers ready,
When
quick.
people start shitting themselves, I always think, nothing? Nothing's going to fucking happen? Tiny little like differences, like, oh, this tax rate has been modified slightly.
Yeah.
Or this benefit doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, they're going to fucking ride through the streets on horseback, like chopping our heads off because we're from the north or anything like that. You know what I mean? Nothing's going to happen.
Lay waste
Like when people
to the
used to
county
say
of Northumberland.
about Barack Obama, this is important, this American election, you know. This will have global ramifications, this. And you're like, no, it's not really that. It might, like, day-to-day life, it's not going to fucking matter.
Well, it sure as shit will if a black guy gets in the White House.
We're going to let a black guy take over? I don't think so.
You know, and then cut forward a few years, oh yeah, nothing's happened.
You mean to tell me this black guy with black skin, wants to get inside that White House, huh? What the fuck?
Yeah, he wants to get inside the house, and I'm
not in my country, huh?
It's mad how there hasn't been like This shows you that like Britain and America are arguably a little bit safer than what the media likes to portray them as. Because I was thinking, you know how the general propaganda is, like people from the Middle East and stuff, you know, the hardcore Muslims, they're always trying to get across like they hate democracy, you know, they hate it. And you think, well, there's a lot of Muslims, and if they're really like that insane and that crazy, then surely there would be like bombing polling stations and stuff. Nothing happened. Nothing happens.
No.
Like, of all the different areas in which people are voting.
Do you know what it's more like? For them, it's like, okay, I'm a Muslim. I'm a dummy. I've got these devout beliefs, and I'm actually quite a knob. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to channel all my anger into hate, and just channel it through my religion. I'm doing it in the name of God. You're doing it because you're a fucking asshole.
What, for people that, terrorists?
Terrorists, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm saying like in Britain, that it's not really as big a problem.
No,
problems
it's
were.
not. No, it's
They,
not.
they make you feel like, oh yeah, they're taking over. No, they're fucking not. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
Like, what-
the
in
scale
America-
in the garden walls.
In America, the fact that like this black president has been running the country for a good few years now.
Yeah.
He hasn't been assassinated.
Jinx, touch wood.
Yeah. You know what I mean? They try and put all this fear onto you.
Well,
But when it comes to it, it's like, oh yeah, it's actually,
everything the
it's actually
media,
really fun to see.
everything the media delivers to you, it's always scaled up to 10.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
even the most neutral events,
Totally, yeah.
scaled right up.
Because they're just a business. What do they want to do? Make a profit.
You want to sell?
How do you make a profit? You tap into people's emotional states
Yeah.
so that they're like it's so strange, isn't it? How people don't want to read about, or generally speaking, don't want to read about nice things like, oh, and this charity made an extra £500,000 this year thanks to a donation from the philanthropist Dr. Such and Such. No one wants to get rid of that. The tits, yes, that's why I bought the paper for the tits. And there we go, Muslims hate Britain. You know what I mean? They want to read that.
They hate Britain, so I've got to hate them.
God, I gotta hate that. You know, they want to read the shit that emotionally charges them, which is why the press is dangerous, because it's 99% bullshit.
Oh shit.
You know, odd. That's why I'm all about just taking in where it is that you live. Like, right, my experience here is, yeah, there's fucking assholes and stuff, but like generally speaking, now the bombs aren't being dropped. Like, you know, I'm not
There's
starving.
kids,
or
there's
anything.
children screaming outside though, so I assume there's some sort of psychopath on the loose.
Well, there is an axe murderer stalking.
Nice guy,
kids,
nice guy. Just
stalking
lives a couple of
the
houses down. He's a good guy.
streets. But apart from that, everything's cool.
Yeah, he's got some, you know.
Do you know what I mean, though? Like, I'm all about bringing the experience back down into yourself and not thinking too over the top. Like, thinking in terms of, like, oh, well, what's happening in Gaza is sort of to do with me. It's, like, it's not to do with you because you actually haven't got fuck all to do with it. You don't set the policy or anything like that.
Yeah.
And your votes... Is it really politicians that are running shit, or is are the other interests that apply pressure to the political system that then dictates policy?
I don't know. I'm not big into politics at all, really. I've only started paying more attention recently with the election. It's something I've sort of always stayed clear of. But I think it was quite. This is the first election I'd sort of took notice in. And it was quite interesting to see how it all panned out and how it works and how kind of catty people can get over politics. It's like you're electing a schoolboys club, and they start poking holes at each other's
isn't it?
club rules and that.
People get really pissed off if you have a different political outlook to them. See, like the people tend to be staunch in their beliefs. So if you'll get somebody. Like, see if you're talking to a regular guy, and I voted Labour because of it. And they're like, you voted like what? You want the country just go back to shit, back to recession, all that. You're like, oh, chill the fuck out, man. That's just what I did. I didn't vote. Rebellion. The most passive rebellion ever.
You're losing us subscribers and viewers by saying that, Phil.
What?
This guy right here on this podcast, he didn't vote.
He didn't vote, and I can't listen to a podcast where one of the guys didn't even vote.
Phil can't take you seriously anymore.
He doesn't
We're done.
care.
But most people that fucking do vote, I haven't got a clue about the parties anyway. You can ask the majority of people that vote and say, on the political spectrum, are Labour left wing or right wing? And people like most people are like, wings. You know what I mean? Like, people have different fucking know enough about politics to have a friggin' opinion anyway. I don't. I freely admit that. I don't know enough at all to pick just out of these bunch. I have this like feeling, it's internal feeling that none of them represent my shit at all anyway.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick, then I wouldn't. I'm not informed enough to pick anyway. And I get the feeling that most people are in that position where they just don't know enough about the parties and know enough about society. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if the social, like psychological backdrop, what the fuck am I even trying to say? Yeah, I'm trying to say you don't know enough about people, man. These politicians, they don't know enough about human psychology. None of them, or sociology, psychosocial. That's what I'm trying to say.
Psychosocial. Slipknot.
You know, these guys, we'll do this with money here. We'll do this with money there. Yeah. What about humans? How the fuck do humans respond to humans. Like, how do humans respond to stimuli? Are they really taking that into account? Because in schools, they don't teach fucking attachment theory, which is the most important thing out there. Like, the most important thing in terms of how people develop. You've got kids in daycare for hours on end.
Yeah.
And these staff that work there aren't trained in attachment theory. So they don't know how to, like, really cater for these kids.
And what is attachment theory?
Well, attachment theory... I don't know, man. No, it's at its core, it would be how people interact with people, right? So a child has to be attached to its parents.
Yeah.
It has this attachment because it's got to rely on them, and it'll take notice of them as a result.
Mm-hmm.
If kids grow up in like a bit of a shitty background and don't have attachments to adults that are like to caregiving adults, if there's a very weak or no attachment there,
Mm-hmm.
they'll attach with other kids, and so they become peer oriented, and so they bring each other up. So they take their social cues from other children.
Yeah.
And then what do you get there? You get kids that are fucking misbehaving little bastards then. Like, and what effect does that have on society? Well, what do? They get hooked on drugs. They commit crime to pay for this addiction, for these addictions that they have as a result of childhood trauma. They're very antisocial. They're just there's a massive social cost to children not having strong attachments to care providers. And kids can be attached to teachers. Like, there's this one, Gordon Neufeld, I've mentioned before. He's like an authority on like attachment theory. He said that he used to get bullied in that at school for being clever. And instead of just going, oh, I can't handle this, I can't take this, he had such a strong attachment with one of the teachers that it mattered more to him what she thought of him than what the kids thought.
Yeah.
And so, even though it didn't stop the bullying, he could cope with it because through this like strong attachment relationship that he had with the teacher, it gave him like the security and the safety in his mind and in his life to not succumb to the pressure of these little bastards.
Yeah.
You know, in schools, teachers don't know fuck all about I don't know. I don't know what the techniques are. How you get children attached to you and stuff like that. I've got a fucking idea, but. Well, I better fucking figure that one out.
Yeah.
I'm a little kid of my own.
Oh my god.
But you know what I mean. Like what are they like in school? They're just like, read off page number 3, and we'll have a little test at the end. All right.
Heads down. Do
They're
your work.
just not like in the main. They're not people that are gonna forge good attachment with children, and the politicians that bring it all back. They don't think of like the psychological and sociological. Well, they think of the sociological without thinking of the psychological and how they're both like linked.
Yeah.
But they're generally just looking at fucking balance sheets. Like, nah, hold up, what the fuck do I know? That's the impression I get though. Like, oh yeah, that plus that equals. We can now put a little bit more money into that. Money, put fucking knowledge into the thing, man.
Knowledge.
You know, let's get some knowledge out there, man.
Yeah, let's get some
You know?
knowledge out.
Let's understand that, like, oh, if you're gonna have one of these, what do you call daycare centres in England?
Daycare centre?
Just daycare centre.
Yeah. Nursery?
Yeah, nursery and stuff. But what you got to do here is, right, do we actually want happy fucking, like, people that are going to be productive and secure in their lives? Well, it starts at the fucking beginning. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to pay these people that look after your children a little bit more than what they're getting, because they're going to deserve it after they have to spend a few years learning about attachment theory to be able to provide a good enough environment for these kids to be healthy children. Because you know, when they're spending like 7-8 hours away from their parents, that's fucked up. That for humans, like, why am I here?
Where am I?
Like, what am I doing?
Mom, Dad, where are you?
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, like, that's an area. That's not that. It sounds trivial and all that, but no. People that are looking after kids, that's really fucking important, and they've got to be aware of certain things and like psychological issues here, so that they can provide proper care, so people don't turn out to be fucked up in the head. You know, all right, yeah. Let's concentrate more on that than what we do. Or you know, there'll be a whole host of other areas where it's totally neglected, without them realizing the significance and the importance of these areas.
Yeah.
Education. Do we need to know about pointless bullshit? Do we need to treat every kid like they're the same? You know what I mean? Like, we can all like in the way that they teach you, they try and teach all kids in the same way. It's like, Some kids are better learning a different fucking way.
Yeah, some kids
are
learn
just destined
visually.
to go outside and do shit out there, hands on. Some kids are mint at that stuff. Some kids are good, like in the minds where they're like, no, I like the theory aspect of it and calculating shit like with the pen and the paper. You know, why don't we put more money into that and develop like a freaking army of peaceful, fucking oxymoron there.
Yeah,
But, you know, like an army of peaceful, happy, healthy individuals instead of dividing the whole place, like
divide and rule.
aye,
Divide
it's like
and
everyone's just against everyone.
We're gonna have to end on that point because I've got to get out of here.
I've got to go and do some squats, man.
Nice. Look at this.
Nothing
Look at
else, man.
this.
Squat with your legs.
Squat with your legs.
Jeans, baby.
God damn.
So
Guys
it's been
wearing
jeans
jeans.
for fucking ages. Well, you've been an ignorant fuck. Keep looking at your phone. Haven't you?
Sorry, it's just there's somebody waiting to get into my house, and I'm here. Oh shit! So I'm gonna get out of here. But
Hope you enjoyed that. Probably didn't.
thanks for listening to this and watching this more serious podcast. But yeah, thank you very much.
Peace out. Goodbye.
Bye.
Had nothing to do with protests or anything. I literally couldn't be arsed. And this is the thing. I thought in my head, right? Because in my world, like my reality is, like this is the reality for me. If I were to vote, it wouldn't make a difference, and it wouldn't, right? It physically wouldn't make a difference.
How
me
wouldn't?
personally voting, because how would it? Like, do you know what I mean? Everybody else is going to vote anyway. Another argument is, well, if everyone thought like that, then blah blah blah. But I don't live the life of everyone. I just live the life of me. And if I don't vote, it's not going to make a difference at all. Which is weird because it is a valid point. If everybody thought like that,
Nothing will get done.
then nothing would happen.
I think a lot of the, I'm going to cut you off, but I think a lot of the anger that you get pointed your way for saying that by voters and people who are heavily into the political system, which I'm not. I did vote, but I'm not massively interested, to be honest, because it doesn't matter. We're always going to be ruled by people who lie to us. So people will say it's a wasted vote. People are going to say, well, you know, people died for you to get that vote, and you're wasting it.
Yeah.
Why are you wasting it? You're abusing the situation.
That's what you got to take into account. It's like,
Oh, completely.
when people say, oh yeah, people died for your right to vote. That's nice. And did they really? Is that really how it panned out? I don't know. I don't know enough about history as to how democracy came about in Britain. But
Women died for the vote, didn't they? Suffragettes.
did they die though? I don't know if they died. Probably got jailed and smacked in the gob and that by the coppers and stuff like that. I'm not sure if they got slaughtered or anything. I don't think they were killed. Could easily check that, but I can't
I'll check it out. You keep saying your point.
But
So, this has been recorded directly after the previous podcast, which was about the Avengers Age of Ultron. Puppets on strings. This has been recorded on Friday, the day of the general election announcements and who won. Does that make any sense grammatically as a fucking sentence?
makes enough sense.
Conservatives are back in power. Let's cut to the chase. Phil, your thoughts?
Well, I didn't vote, right?
You're a fight. This guy, he's a little anarchist.
No, it is. I didn't vote. Do you know why?
But it doesn't matter. I'm going to quote David Icke here. It doesn't matter who gets in. Wow, this podcast feels a lot more serious than the last one. Shit. It doesn't matter who gets in power because they're all stood on the same postage stamp, and they're all going to implement the same rules of the same sort of overruling regime.
Yeah.
Regardless of what perks one politician has, one political party has, to the other. Well, we do this and they do that. Yeah, but we do this and you do that.
Yeah, like the fundamentals stay the same.
Yeah, the basics are right there.
They represent like bankers and stuff.
You got money,
They
you're good to
represent
go.
money. That's you know.